This is a demonstration of the controlled natural language multilingual policy management interface. Before you start, it's often good to write down your policy in English or in natural language so you understand what you're going to create. So I've written a couple of policies down here, and it's the second one I'm going to produce on the natural language interface. And the first thing we do is create a profile which selects the type of verifiable credential we want. So let's create a profile for an Amex card, and an Amex card must be issued by a bank, and we choose big bank in this case, and the type must be of type Amex card. Let's submit that. And if I look at my existing profiles, I've already created similar ones for Amex and Visa. So I'll go back now and create one for the council, and so in this case it will be name and address, and the issuer of the name and address is the council, and the type is a residency credential. I submit that, and then the other one I want is for the car ownership, and the issuer of this is the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, and the credential type is a vehicle registration certificate. So I've now got my profiles. The next thing I do is I selectively disclose. I say what I want to selectively disclose from particular certificates. So the first one from an Amex card, I just want the number. So I look through the properties and I find Amex number there, and I save that. And I've already added. You see that I've already added Visa card number and MasterCard number. And then for name and address, the properties I require there are the subject name, and I also require the subject address, so I will submit that one. And then for car registration number, then list of properties I require are the car registration number, which will be the registration number. I want that, so I will submit that. Okay, now I go and make the policy, and in order to purchase a car parking permit, then the user must present, in this case it's not an either, because it's not a disjunctive normal form policy, it's a conjunctive normal form, because it's to present three things. So for this one he needs to add a credit card number, and so for this he needs to add a Visa number from a Visa card, or a MasterCard number from a MasterCard, or an Amex number from an Amex card. And the next thing he needs to do is he needs to add car details, and so in this case it's a car registration number from the car ownership certificate, and he also needs to add name and address. So in this case it's the name and address from a name and address certificate, and that's it. So I submit that. Once we've created the policy, we can look at it, and it's there, tells us what the policy is, and then the next thing we want to do is to convert it into the format to be used by the verifiable credential infrastructure. So we go to the policy converter tool, and that connects to natural language database, and you can see there's only one policy in there. We convert that, and this stores it into our policy registry ready to be picked up by the VC ecosystem. We're now going to see the policy in action by buying a car parking permit. So we go straight down, proceed to purchase, fetch the policy, and we can see that we're just asking for credit card numbers as per the policy. We're just asking for the registration number of the card, and we're asking for the full name and address. So we can submit that. We now need to swipe our finger to access our keys to get the cards and submit them to the website. We'll check them, and there we are, we get our parking permit. Now we're going to create a different policy with different selective disclosure rules and different issuers. So in this policy First of all, I will delete the existing policy, and then I will create a new profile, which this time I'll call a self-issued profile. And so for this one, the issuer is self and the credit card is Amex, and I will save that. And then for selective disclosure rules, we will alter the existing selective disclosure rule for car registration, and we will require, as well as the registration number, we'll also require the details of the keeper, the vehicle keeper, which is here, and we will save that. Now we need to go and create the policy. So in order to, it's the same policy again, in order to purchase the car parking permit, users must present, this time we want them to present a self-issued card, and it's an Amex number from an Amex card, and we want them to present their vehicle, their car details, and that's going to be the car registration number, which has been altered now from the car ownership, and it's going to be their name and address again from the name and address card, name and address, and we submit that. So we just check our existing policy in there, and you can see it says you must do a self-issued Amex card and the car details. So now we need to convert this policy. So I refresh, get the new policy, store it in the database, and now we'll move over to the mobile phone and do the purchase. Now we'll return to the website and purchase a car parking permit using the new policy. I'm going to choose new cards this time, and you can see here it's got the self-issued card with my number. Car details, it's now asking for name and registration number, and again the full name and address. So I submit that, swipe my finger for the keys, and then checking them, and it's got the details there, and I complete the purchase.